Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Curse of Oak Island. The results are revealed for scientific analysis of gold found at Money Pit. On this week's The Curse of Oak Island, the team had a piece of gold found at the Money Pit analyzed by chemists at a laboratory, and the results were very promising. Last night's episode was difficult to watch in some places as, much to the team's frustration, Nova Scotia's Department of Communities, Culture, and Heritage ordered them to shut down operations in the swamp area. Follow the link to read about that situation. However, there were also many positives to last night's show, and one of those centered around a small piece of metal. The metal piece in question was found a week ago at a depth of approximately 90 feet in the D2 borehole in the Money Pit area. The guys put it into their new XRF machine, which suggested it contained some gold. This obviously caused great excitement and led to the team wanting to find out more. With that in mind, Marty Lagina, Craig Tester, and treasure hunting veteran Dan Henske took the mysterious piece of metal to expert chemist Dr. Krista Brousseau at her laboratory in Nova Scotia's St. Mary's University. Metal composition determined Oak Island team's focus for the year. Marty left Brousseau and as viewers in doubt as to how important these results would be. He said, "What happens here today influences what we do for the rest of the year." Brousseau's colleague, Dr. Xiang Yang, fed the piece into a scanning electron microscope, which uses a beam of electrons to magnify the metal's features to get a clearer picture of its chemical composition. The first bit of news revealed an absence of manganese in the iron, which dated the piece to before the 1840s. Yang then upped the tension by identifying some pyrite, aka fool's gold. But as a few more tense moments passed by, he eventually came up with the goods and found some actual proper gold. Within that piece, they found gold at about 65%, copper at approximately 26%, and a small amount of silver. Brousseau explained that it was likely what's known as rose gold, which was often used to create rose-colored jewelry, particularly in 19th century Russia. However, the practice dates back to the Middle Ages. Is the Oak Island metal Tumbaga gold or rose gold? Later in the episode, an excited Marty reported these findings to his brother, Rick, and the rest of the team, and he had another theory about the gold. He had been examining the chemical composition of Tumbaga gold and found that it was also similar to their piece. Tumbaga gold might be even more exciting than rose gold because this was the name given by Spanish conquistadors to the gold made by the Aztecs and Incas in Central and South America. One Oak Island theory has long speculated that the conquistadors may have buried treasure plundered from the indigenous peoples and buried it on the island. The prospect of ancient Spanish or Aztec gold obviously caused the guys maximum excitement, and they agreed that they need to place a 10-foot steel casing shaft over the D2 borehole and try to dig up any more treasure. In the heart of Oak Island, where the winds whisper ancient secrets and the trees stand as silent sentinels of history, a new dawn was breaking. The soft light of the early morning sun bathed the island in a golden hue, an auspicious sign, perhaps, for the treasure hunters who had dedicated their lives to uncovering its mysteries. This was no ordinary day. This was the day the results of the scientific analysis of the gold found at the Money Pit would be revealed. Rick and Marty Lagina, the steadfast brothers who had led the charge on Oak Island for years, stood by the edge of the Money Pit, their eyes fixed on the horizon. Their expressions were a mix of anticipation and hope, tempered by the hard-earned wisdom of countless setbacks and discoveries. The team had gathered around them, a motley crew of experts and adventurers who had become like family through the trials of their shared quest. Dr. Ian Spooner, the meticulous geoscientist, clutched a folder filled with the results of the analysis. His face was unreadable, but his eyes gleamed with the promise of revelation. The gold samples, painstakingly extracted from the depths of the Money Pit, had been sent to the most advanced laboratories in the country. The wait had been agonizing, but the time had finally come to unveil the truth. Everyone, Dr. Spooner began, his voice cutting through the early morning silence, we have the results. A collective breath was held as he opened the folder and scanned the pages within. He looked up, meeting the eyes of each team member in turn. The analysis confirms that the gold found in the money pit is not just a random deposit. It shows signs of human processing, indicating that it was brought here intentionally. A murmur of excitement rippled through the group. For years, they had speculated about the origins of the gold. Some believed it was pirate treasure, hidden away by Captain Kidd or Blackbeard. Others thought it might be part of the lost treasures of the Knights Templar, or even artifacts from the fabled Ark of the Covenant. This new evidence added a tantalizing layer to the mystery. The gold's isotopic signature matches that of gold from South America. Dr. Spooner continued. Specifically, it aligns with samples taken from ancient Inca sites. Rick's eyes widened in astonishment. Are you saying the gold could be from the Inca Empire? It's a strong possibility, Dr. Spooner replied. The Incas were known to have vast quantities of gold, much of which disappeared during the Spanish conquest. It's conceivable that some of it could have been transported here. Marty stepped forward, his mind racing with the implications. But how? How would Inca gold end up on Oak Island? Dr. Spooner shrugged. That's the next question we need to answer. It could have been brought by Spanish explorers, or perhaps it was part of a larger, more secretive operation. We need to investigate further. The team members exchanged glances, their imaginations running wild with the possibilities. Theories began to fly, each more intriguing than the last. Perhaps the Spanish had used Oak Island as a hidden depot for their plundered treasures, or maybe a secret society had transported the gold across the seas to safeguard it from the conquistadors. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, casting long shadows across the island, Rick turned to the group with renewed determination. We've made a significant breakthrough today, but our work is far from over. This gold is a clue, a piece of a much larger puzzle. We need to keep digging, both literally and figuratively. Marty nodded in agreement. Let's re-examine the historical records, look for any connections between the Inca Empire and European explorers that might explain this. And we should also consider expanding our search to other parts of the island. If there's gold here, there might be more hidden elsewhere. With a renewed sense of purpose, the team dispersed, each member diving into their tasks with vigor. Alex Lagina and Jack Begley headed to the research center, ready to sift through old maps and documents for any overlooked clues. Gary Drayton, the metal detecting expert, began planning a new sweep of the island, hoping to uncover more treasures hidden beneath the surface. Meanwhile, the drilling team prepared to resume their excavation at the money pit, eager to delve deeper into its enigmatic depths. Days turned into weeks as the team followed the threads of their newfound lead. The historical research unearthed tantalizing hints of contact between Spanish explorers and indigenous peoples who might have had access to Inca gold. Old ship manifests and logbooks hinted at voyages that took unexpected detours, potentially stopping at Oak Island. Each new piece of information added to the growing tapestry of the island's mystery.